Hi everyone, Ross Bob Squirrel here. In today's video, I'm going to give you 5 tips dealing with best legends, weapons, playstyle, and more to help you rank up during the second ranked split of Season 11 that is taking place on World's Edge. For those that are new here, to give some credibility, I play on PS5 and hit Masters last split on Stormpoint, and have also solo queued to Masters back in Season 9 on Olympus. I've also been playing this game nearly every day since day 1. Whether you are solo queuing or with a team trying to move from gold to platinum, platinum to diamond, or diamond to masters, these tips are going to help you achieve your goals. So let's get right into it. First up, for tip number 1, understanding where to drop and where to rotate. Given that we are back on World's Edge, there are key places that you likely will want to try and avoid, especially off drop. The biggest one being Fragment. So many teams are going to land here or close by, and it will end up being third-party city. If you do end up landing here, just understand that it is very high risk, but also high reward. If you are able to come out victorious on top at Fragment, you will likely have a good amount of kills and assists. My personal advice is not to go here, as it typically does not end well, as so many teams can come pouring in. Another location that you have to be careful of is Big Mound. This is a great place for teams to land, given that you can get fully kitted weapons right away at the beginning of the game, but again, this poses some risk as it is a highly sought after area. Taking a look at the map, I typically land somewhere on the outskirts like the tree, thermal station, overlook, or climatizer. As a general rule of thumb, always be looking around you and behind you as you're dropping from the supply ship to understand where to rotate to after looting. I would also advise to try and stay away from the middle section of the map when rotating, such as Harvester, Landslide, or Fragment, as these are going to be places most teams rotate to, and again, people love to third party on this map. Knowing where the next zone is will be key to help you determine which way to rotate, which leads me to my second tip. For tip number 2, using the right legends for this map. As I was just saying, having a legend that can scan the beacons to understand the next ring positioning will be incredibly beneficial to you and your team. For World's Edge, I think the best recon legend choices are either Bloodhound or Valkyrie. It is nice having the jump towers back, but people have gotten much better with their aim, especially in ranked, that you are an easy target on a jump tower when trying to escape the enemy. Valk still comes in handy having her ultimate, as she and her team are much harder to hit than being on a balloon. Another legend that I think is really powerful on this map is Caustic. If I were solo queuing, Caustic would be one of my top choices, as this map has much more indoor fighting than Stormpoint did. As well, you can guard up an outdoor area with his gas traps too. With Caustic, don't be afraid to shoot your own traps to prevent teams that are close from pushing. For a third teammate, I really think Gibraltar is so clutch on any map, given his bubble, arm shield, and how fast he can revive teammates. Personally, the team we are running on this map has been Valkyrie, Gibraltar, and Caustic. Sometimes we have traded out for Ashe or Octane to see how the games go, but we feel ourselves coming back to the 3 I mentioned, as it works out quite well. Next up, we have tip number 3, be patient and push smart. Now, what I mean by this is knowing when to move forward and attack a team, and knowing when you need to back off and rotate out of there. Earning RP is so dependent on both kills or assists and placement in ranked. If you have a couple of KP, but make a mistake by pushing a team you don't necessarily need to, you could very well still go negative for the game if you are eliminated. All of this goes hand in hand with being patient. One thing you really have to keep in mind that is a big difference between Stormpoint and World's Edge is how fast enemy teams are able to move around and third party you, given that World's Edge is slightly smaller and players are just much more familiar with this map. Most games so far have had half the lobby be eliminated by the end of round 1 for us, meaning that if you take your time, you will gain that placement RP. You might get a knock or 2 at the beginning of the game, but might not have a great opportunity to fight another team until round 4 or 5 of the ring closing in. And that is perfectly okay, and in my opinion, a great way to play in higher lobbies. If you are playing ranked to move up, you do not always have to be go go go, which is how pubs feels. Quickly assess the fight you are going up against and know when to back out if needed. For tip number 4, ensure that you have one medium to long range weapon and one closer range weapon. Similar to Stormpoint, I would highly recommend either the triple take, 30-30, or charge rifle as your longer range weapon here on World's Edge. There are still a decent amount of open areas on this map, and having a marksman or sniper can help you keep enemies at bay. When it comes to a closer range weapon, I would suggest the Volt, R99, R301, or Flatline. As a rule of thumb, keep in mind that you should try to be using weapons from this list that you are most comfortable and confident with. With all that being said, I also think a great idea is to base your loadout on whichever extended mag you come across first. For instance, if you are looting right away and find a blue or purple extended energy mag, then I would hold it and look for a triple take or volt, whichever one I am more comfortable with, to add to my loadout. Having an extended mag puts you at such an advantage against those that don't have one. For my loadout, I personally am rocking the charge rifle in either the Volt or R301. The charge rifle makes it so easy to snag some knocks or assists as the ring becomes smaller and more teams close in. Being able to keep enemies at bay with a longer range weapon will really help you out in ranked. Tip number 5, over-communicate with your team. I highly recommend that you use a microphone and go into game chat, especially in the higher lobbies. As well, if you are squatting up with just one person, don't stay in your own private party chat. Switch over to game chat so your whole team can hear you, even if they don't have a mic. If you are solo queuing, I know that talking and communicating with your random teammates can be very intimidating. My piece of advice is to be the one to start talking as you are landing, calling out if any teams are landing with you or dropping nearby. Typically, this can help get your randoms in the zone and be more willing to communicate with you as well, assuming they have a microphone plugged in. If you don't have a mic, I would overping everything, whether that's weapons, enemies, or locations to move to. I would also advise that you inform your teammates of what weapons or attachments you are looking for, so they can keep an eye out for you. Also, this is really key. Trying not to be toxic will be huge with your squad mates. When there isn't good chemistry between you and your teammates, you won't be playing your best. Communicating with your team professionally will give you more of an upper hand than you realize. Now, I do have a bonus tip for you guys as well. Sometimes your teammates are not going to make the smartest plays, and that's okay. We all have been there before where we make mistakes. With that said, just know that it is okay to leave behind your teammates if they have done something that got themselves killed, and it is risky to recover their banner. Going back to the team chemistry component, a good teammate will understand and realize you are making the right call to preserve your entire team's RP. A bad teammate will be upset you didn't risk everything to save them. Sometimes there are just situations where running away is the best option to help you move up in ranked. If you follow these tips, I strongly believe you'll be able to move up quickly in ranked and hit whichever level you want to during the split on World's Edge. Ranked can be a grind and be frustrating at times, but keep your head up and you will pull through. If you are looking for some great rat spots on World's Edge for when necessary, I have a great video for you to check out. As well, if you are new around here and want to see Apex Legends content, including glitches, tips, and live gameplay, be sure to subscribe as I post daily to YouTube. Good luck with your games, have fun, and I will catch you in the next one.